This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And before I get on with this video, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. May Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's peace be bestowed unto you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from the Great Millstone Orlando camp. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to this real quick in 2nd Esdras 16. Because with everything that's going on worldwide, and as I just read, because of the pride, specifically here in America, Babylon and these Babylonians, with everything that's going on, and these Babylonians having this mindset that, oh, that's just over there, thinking that they can't be touched, that they're invincible. But again, as it says in 2nd Esdras 15, because of the pride of these cities, because of the pride of this place, hey, America's in trouble. Babylon is in trouble, and you Babylonians are in trouble. 2nd Esdras 16. Actually, because speaking of, I believe that's 2nd Esdras 15, as I quoted. Like the Apostle Tahar said, you know, we're living through these chapters. 2nd Esdras 15, 2nd Esdras 16, then in 2nd Esdras 15. And bear with me, because doing this video while I'm on the plantation in my line of work, you just gotta be circumspect, so I'm keeping my head on a swivel. So bear with me. Where's that at? Bear with me. So, Salakia, 2nd Esdras 16, and start at verse 18. Salakia. Like I said, bear with me. Again, being on the plantation, got to keep my head on a swivel. Hearing all type of shit out here around me, but Wadi Al-Bashim Al-Shai, you know, I believe in the Lord's protection, His angels being encamped about me. This is one of those jobs, man, where one of those gigs, Jacob say, hell no, I ain't doing that shit. Fuck that. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. But in 2nd Esdras 16 and 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And there was no amount of prepping, all right, as far as carnality is concerned, all right, being carnal, because we're storing up our treasures in heaven, Lord willing, storing up in our spiritual bank account, because it's all spiritual. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a moment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And as I'm going to play this video here, copyright disclaimer, fair use. I'm not making any type of monetary gain off of this video. This is just for informational purposes. But as I'm going to play this video, Lord willing, going into the crisis in Sudan, all right, which, as I just read, because what's going on in many other places, which, you know, these Babylonians, man, I forgot who I was watching. Well, I didn't watch it. I saw a clip of, it was dealing with one of these actors. I believe it was Matt Damon. Or somebody, they said something along the lines of how dealing with Netflix and how they want to incorporate in their movies, you know, when they do their movies, they want to reiterate the point, the purpose of the movie, the plot of the movie throughout the movie, because people are so busy on their phones. So just making a point that, you know, these Babylonians, they tend to forget. They forget quick. You know, these Babylonians, man, they are, you know, with their short-term memory, you know, people have to be reminded often. So this is just one of those things where, again, there's so much going on and people can tend to forget because, for one, you know, these Babylonians, they're living in the comfort of their homes. You know, the society is somewhat still intact, but nevertheless, this is one of those scourges. And this is a small glimpse as far as this crisis in Sudan that, again, people have quickly forgot about. This is just a small taste of what we're going to start seeing here in America, Lord willing, sooner than soon. So with that being said, Lord willing, we can get through this video.
Welcome back, everyone. It's currently the worst humanitarian crisis in the world. Millions of people displaced, tens of thousands killed. But with so much focus on Ukraine, Gaza, and Iran, many don't know the horrors playing out inside of Sudan. It's difficult to get information, but the U.S. says genocide is taking place, harkening back to dark days of decades ago. In tonight's Prime Focus, Ian Pannell and our team have spent months hearing from people on the ground and piecing together some of the atrocities playing out. And tonight, as this conflict has now passed 1,000 days of fighting, we listen to the women caught in the crosshairs of a war they did not ask for.
Imagine that your entire city of 1 million people completely shut off from the rest of the world. No one is allowed out. No food or water or supplies like medicine are allowed in. And you're dealing with bomb strikes.
أنا بفتش في ولدي عشان بلقاه ما لقيته الناس قالوا كله بقول لي يمكن مع الناس الميتين.
It's a country tragically familiar with the brutality of man and far from the eyes of the world. Harrowing accounts of what the US government now calls a new genocide in Sudan. Civilians once again trapped between two warring sides. A conflict between the rebel group known as the RSF and the Sudanese military, raging for over 1,000 days. In late October of 2025, videos exposed gruesome mass killings by the RSF in Sudan's Darfur region. It's been the world's worst humanitarian crisis for the last 2 years. More than 30 million desperately need help. And yet this is a crisis largely out of sight, out of mind. A darkness has descended on El Fasher, a city cut off from the outside world. The IRC estimating nearly 250,000 people trapped inside. The rebel RSF accused of carrying out door-to-door massacres. The crimes committed visible from space. ABC's visual verification team has documented 48 hours of hell posted online by gloating RSF fighters. At El Fasher University, where civilians sought refuge, armed RSF rebels walk into the halls, filled with bodies, posting these graphic videos of their attacks, evidence of a massacre broadcast to the world. And this is what happened when civilians tried to flee the city. Satellite images show a cluster of objects visible by a berm built by the RSF. Verified video on the scene shows it's dozens of charred vehicles and lifeless bodies. The militants celebrating the aftermath of a slaughter.
So you see, man, I'll grab this. Because like it says in Revelation 18, where America's destruction is going to be basically publicized for the world to see, because you are going to have certain parts of the world where, you know, they have the internet up and things of that nature. Because making the point outside of for the truth to be pushed throughout the four corners of the earth. Another reason why the Lord set the internet up was for judgment to be publicized. And that's been the new wave. You know, people incriminate themselves, posting their crimes, and you know, there'll be some brutal judgments seen through the unicorn. And boy, because a part of this Sudanese crisis is these women getting ravished, right? Husbands getting offed right in front of the families, and women getting taken, you know, and all sorts of you know, just things of that matter, man. And again, this is just all a small prelude to what's coming here to America. But I want to read this in Zephaniah 1. Zephaniah 1. And 13. I'm gonna start at. Therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a spoil, and their houses a desolation. And this is, of course, what's going on over there. All right. Door to door, unalivings. You know, just all sorts of unspeakable matters. You know, non-PG activity, man. PG-13 activity. It says they shall also build houses and not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards but not drink the wine thereof. So here it is. People are trying to establish themselves, make permanent decisions in a temporary situation. All right, America's about to be overthrown. America's about to become a spoil. As we see this, the narrative, the stage being set. Because if I'm not mistaken, this whole crisis over there in Sudan, because right now what's going on is basically you have two sides of the military forces fighting for power, basically. And this has been going on for a few years, but it's the same for the most part. It's the same blueprint, you know, versus the red wing, the right side, the blue side, the red side, the blue side. You know, it's pretty much the same playbook. And here it is, Trump is talking about deploying troops. It's going to be a wildfire, you know. Needless to say, it's going to start as a spark, and this thing is going to the old snowball effect is going to get out of hand. They're already talking about, it's been coming out about, you know, ICE going door to door. You know, the scriptures talk about how, let me see if I can find this real quick. I know that's in Revelation. I'm gonna come back to this. because I have a video queued up. I didn't get to watch it yet. I believe it was the elder brother, Yowanathan. I believe that's out there. He's out there in Valdosta, if I'm not mistaken. He did a video. I didn't watch it yet. Going into you women that are watching. Hey, you better start making your moves. The spirit of Isaiah 4:1 is coming back. As far as brothers, doing videos on the whole Isaiah 4:1. All right, that spirit is in the air as of right now. You women better start making your moves, man, because hey, outside of Yahweh Bashim El Shah's protection, hey man, it's a scary thing. Needless to say. But I want to grab this real quick. Revelation 14. I'm going to start at 14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle, and seep, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven, and also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the wine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High Power. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. So basically, man, it's getting ready to be a lot of bloodshed here, specifically here in America. It's getting ready to get bad. And I always say, man, because this is why Yahweh Bashim El Shah, he's going to have to demonstrate it, because our words never do justice. Brothers have some very creative minds, but hey, even with that, man, we have a cap to how far our mind can go. But the Lord, man, it can't be put into words. But just making the point, America is ready to be taken. And like I said, America is getting ready to be overthrown. As it says in Isaiah 24, the city of confusion being broken up, roughly paraphrasing. So America's right. She's right for the taking. She's ripe to be taken. All right. Going back to this. 2nd Ezra 16. I'm sorry, Zephaniah 1. And 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. No one wants to join the army. No one wants to go out and fight for Esau. There's bounties being put on these different ICE agents. All right. Pretty soon, man, 911 is going to go out of business. All things of that sort. All right, the so-called tough guys, the mighty men of this society, man. Yahweh Bashim El Shah is going to break these people. He's going to humble this place. It says, That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick cloud, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So I always imagine this, you're going outside and you got that, those dark clouds. It's just a feeling of uncertainty. You don't know how the weather's going to be. You don't know if it's going to rain. You just don't know. It's uncertainty. And more, we're approaching those days here in Babylon. This is going to be a lot of uncertainty or perplexity, a state of just not knowing which way to go for these people, because the elect are going to move in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah. But these people, man, people are there. You're going to have people literally dying of heart attacks, man, because of just the state of fear is going to be too much for these people. People are literally going to be dying of cardiac arrest. Just the amount of fear is going to be enough to just make people's hearts stop beating. Just literally dying of fear. So again, this is all a part of the scourges, man. Yahweh Shema Shai, hey, the ones that have been going out, get right and get ready. Because this is what's coming to America.
According to the UN Refugee Agency, more than 12 million people in Sudan have fled their homes. Jamila Ismail, who's a mother of 7, fled El Fasher with her children. Her son shot during the chaos.
لكن مصاب وخششنا عملية والعملية نجح.
Aid groups are at a loss, struggling to fund and access the most basic resources. 26-year-old Heba Aladdin is helping people who were displaced when the violence broke out, despite having to flee from another part of Sudan that was attacked. She's now working from a mobile clinic with the Sudan Family Planning Association.
Today we are in Al Afad camp in a Debba state, which people from Al Fashir have been displacement here in this camp. Through our mobile clinic, we are providing reproductive health and gender-based violence services.
But due to internet blackouts, she was only able to send us these voice messages explaining what her life has been like since.
The needs in the camp are growing every day. Life has been difficult. I have seen families fleeing in fear, mothers holding their children with nothing in their hands. I hear the stories of loss, pain, and uncertainty, and I feel the deep responsibility to stand with them.
The tragedy for Sudan is that this is history repeating itself.
As many as 300,000 people have died in Darfur, more than 2.5 million homeless.
2 decades ago, the word Darfur echoed across the world.
Some human rights groups are calling what's happening here ethnic cleansing.
As similar scenes unfolded, up to 2 million deaths, 1 million more displaced, sparking global outrage.
In my country, wars have ended, but peace has never come.
Emi Mahmoud is a Sudanese-American poet born and raised in Darfur. She uses her pen to raise awareness around the world of what her life was like in Sudan.
And the last time we went home, we watched our village burn. Soldiers pouring blood from civilian skulls as if they too could turn water into wine.
When's the last time you were back in Sudan?
2018 December, when the revolution started. My hometown, El Fasher, and Darfur, is a continuation of the Darfur genocide. What's so ironic about all of this is that we're experiencing genocide and living in poverty, and yet we're sitting on some of the largest gold reserves in the entire world, and that's what the fight is about. 2 warring parties funded by so many world powers.
The US State Department has said both sides are committing war crimes and that the RSF is committing genocide.
When you're in conflict, often the rules of...
So, like I said, man, it's the same playbook. Everyone wants control. Everyone wants to be in power. They want the control of the resources and all things of that sort. It's the same playbook we've heard over and over and over. All right, but it's cold because these nations, and primarily Esau, fighting over resources that doesn't belong to any one of them. And Yahweh Shai, he's coming to collect what was taken from him in the first place. As it says in James, they're going to have to cough up all those resources that they stole. They're going to have to cough that shit up. All right. Yahweh Shai is coming to reclaim what was taken from him in the first place. But unlike certain of these, countries where, again, it's just years of just this. That's why Yahweh Shema Shah, he's going to have to really speed the days up. Because you best believe, unlike what Esau pushes out there, we're just going to be living in this post-apocalyptic setting for 20 years, 50 years, 50 years after the day one event, so as some movies, they go into a day that took place, right? The Black Swan event 20 years ago, or whatever the case may be. We're not going to be living like that, all right? And like Apostle Tahar says, when this thing really gets rolling, really from the mandation of the MOTB, it could be weeks, it could be a matter of months, all right? Because it's going to be that bad. It's going to be a time that the world has never seen before. And as I always say, Yahweh Shema Shah, he's reserving the worst for last. Because when it comes here to America, when it comes to Babylon, the Lord got something special for this place. The Lord has something special for this place. All right. And so much that, pursuant to Daniel 12:1, the Lord's going to have to send Michael, the archangel, on the behalf of the saints. And that's serious because there's never been a time when Michael, the archangel, had to stand up on our behalf. So that's why it's going to be bad, needless to say. But again, man, as well as many other places, as I said, many other places. It's easy to forget these things. It's easy to get caught up in the cares of our lives, the bullshit problems that we deal with, and all things of that sort. But hey, this is a reality for a lot of other people in a lot of other countries. This is their reality. They're already dealing with suffering, famine, and things of that nature. They're already dealing with these things. All right. And I can't wait to see, Lord willing, the look on the face of these people. Because there's these Babylonians, man, they're proud as all hell. They're just proud as all hell, man. And I can't wait to see the look on the face of these people, man, when the Lord does his thing. When the Lord does his work, man. I'm sick of suffering these people. I'm sick of suffering this place. But this is what's going on. Houses being ravished, families being torn apart, women getting ravished, little girls getting taken from their families, and just men are having their way with them, and boys too. Because we talk about the ravishing of the women, but hey, men are going to be getting ravished too, believe it or not. In Jacob's trouble, man, you gonna be somewhere, walking down the street or something, hearing some what you think is a woman getting ravished, come to find out it's a whole dude, man. It's a whole man. He's like, damn, I never knew a man could sound like that. Well, hey, again, the Lord got something for your ass. I'm talking to these people, man. The Lord got something for your ass, man. All right. I like to bring this out. I can't look it up because I don't have internet, but this here in Isaiah 29:6. Because I used to post these videos, man, in the Orlando chat. You ever seen a goat getting eaten alive? It's either sheep or a goat. I believe it's a goat. But yeah, I believe it's a goat. I believe sheep, man, they just for the most part go with the flow. But goats, man, when you ever seen goats get eaten alive, man, it's a blood curdling scream, and it sounds familiar to a human. If you ever hear a goat scream, it's blood curdling. You hear a goat scream, it's like, damn. But when you go into this in Isaiah 29:6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of a devouring fire. But the point being, you mentioned that great noise. And when you go into that, and you look it up for yourself, it goes into a bleating, It's one of the definitions that caught my eye, that catches my eye. And again, it's that blood-curdling scream. It's a blood-curdling scream, man. It's like, damn. So making that point, right now, like I said, society's still somewhat intact, so people still have the so-called liberty, whatever, to do what they want, whatnot, go about, commit adultery, go off, sin, and things of that nature. They still have the privilege and the luxury, right? So people right now are in that spirit of mirth, right? But soon, that mirth is going to turn into wailing. As the scriptures say, wailing is going to be in the streets. There's going to be a lot of blood-curdling screams and cries for help and things of that nature. And like I said, you think of you walking down the street or something during Jacob's trouble, man, you think it's a woman getting ravished, man. It's a whole man. You're like, damn, you never knew it make it sound like that. Well, hey, again, the Lord got something for your ass. The Lord got something for these people. And he's going to make it hurt. He's going to make them feel it. So this is what's coming to America, man. All right. This is what's coming to America. We can't forget about Myanmar, right? I got to see what's going on over there. A couple of years ago, pretty much the same thing. Hey, the government, or not the government, but if I'm not mistaken, the military, they took that prime minister out and said, hey, man, and they set up shop. They basically took the president out of power and like, hey, man, we run the shit now. Over out there in Myanmar. Protests took place. And things of that nature. You had protests. And a lot of people got mowed down over there. Because, hey, what happened? The military, they started opening firing on those people over there. And people literally, you can look this up. This is not even an exaggeration. People were literally showing up with rocks and sticks to a gunfight. They say don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Well, they didn't even have knives. They literally showing up to rocks and sticks, bats, and were getting mowed down over there in Myanmar some years ago. So these are the type of things that's been going on over the years worldwide. It's just, again, because, these people that are living in comfort, hey, well, that's how these Babylonians think, man. Hey, that's going on over there, man. Hey, as long as they can get to Starbucks, right? Get their little Frappuccino, cold brew, whatever the case may be, right? Hey, these people, they think themselves to be in good case. They think themselves to be in good case. But man, I want to see that day come when, hey, man, Yahweh Shema Shah, he just strips these people, man. He just when it hits these people. When it hits these people, man, Lord willing, I want to see the spirit on. I want to see the spirit on these people. When the Lord does what He does, man, because the Lord's not going to continue to let this shit go on for too much longer. All right. And again, we see the groundwork being laid. All right. The right wing versus the left wing. Right. The military getting ready to be dispatched. Right. They're talking about a new flu that's supposedly, taking out a lot of people, children, right? Hey, martial law's coming back. Well, it's coming, because Trump's threatening that Insurrection Act. And Lord willing, we're for it, man. We are for prophecy. We are for prophecy. So more and more people are being backed into a corner. All right. And with that being said, when it's all said and done, hey, these people, they're going to lash out. But with that, they're not going to be ready. All right. They're not going to be ready. All right. They're not going to be ready. You better ask them Venezuela troops where Esau rolled up over there. Esau rolled up over there with them advanced weapons, and they were like, man, we don't want no smoke. They didn't have time to draw or nothing. So, these Babylonians, man, they have no idea what's getting ready to come, and they're not ready. But we're with it, man. Come on with it already, Esau. Do what y'all got to do already. So Lord willing, this was edifying. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully elect.